Everybody's ready? Ready? And time. Welcome, judges. My name is Thomas. I am the co-founder of Modus Coffee. Pushing the limits of brewing and innovating with coffee is what we do every day. My inspiration for this year's presentation is comparing the role of a barista to that of a chef, specifically by blending coffees in the same way that a master chef mixes ingredients in a recipe. We all know that a dish is not certain to be good just because we have the best ingredients. It's the techniques and creativity that a chef uses which brings a dish to life. You have to create harmony, and not just a mind-blowing, but a mouth-blowing experience. Our brew today is composed of 3 different coffees, each of which bringing something truly special to the blend, while also representing the core elements, which are flavor, acidity, and sweetness. But let's start with the flavor. Our first coffee is a beautiful Panama geisha from one of the most famous farms in the world, Janssen. It is processed as a washed and grown in the Volcan Valley at 1,700 meters above sea level. It is the structure of the blend. Representing 65% of the total brew, it has the clarity, the complexity, and the florality that only Panama geishas have. Our second coffee, representing the acidity, is much more fruit-forward and intense. With 30% of the final cup, this geisha is from Colombia, grown in the Cauca Valley at 1,900 meters above sea level at El Parisio. The producer, Diego Bermudez, introduced us the anti-maceration process. He creates a vacuum-sealed environment inside the fermentation tank, dropping the pressure below 1 bar. He aims to get as close as possible to 0 bar, basically recreating conditions of space. In this environment, different microorganisms are active, which creates a very unusual cup profile. This coffee is very bright, juicy, and effervescent. I love its sparkling and phosphoric acidity. For a last ingredient in the trio, I choose a very rare species, a Genoides, grown in Colombia in the Cauca Valley at 1,800 meters above sea level at Immaculada Coffee Farm. Processed as a natural, this coffee is way beyond anything I ever tried. With absolutely no bitterness and no acidity, it's a pure shot of sweetness, bringing our coffee blend to a whole nother level with only 5% inside. So now that we have our 3 coffees representing the major compounds, we had to create a balance between them. Just like a chef, a barista adds value to its ingredients throughout the techniques he uses, here being roasting, freezing, grinding, and brewing. Concerning the roast, the 2 geishas were roasted in a typhoon with a 16% development to enhance clarity and those beautiful stone fruits, while the Immaculada is darker with a 20% development on an Ikawa to extract the maximum of its sugars. All 3 coffees have a different harvest and roasting dates. This is why we had to freeze them at the right moment to create the blend. The beans were flash frozen at minus 30 degrees Celsius to preserve the aromatic compounds at their peak in order to mix them together after. The grinding was the most difficult part because all 3 coffees have a different solubility. The Janssen and the Bermudez were ground more coarsely, around 800 microns, because I wanted to extract the acidity. In the Immaculada, I was more interested in its body and sweetness, so I had to go more finely, around 600 microns. All the coffee grounds were then mixed together, giving us a more even extraction. I'm using 14 grams of coffee for 200 meters of water. I ground my coffee 5 minutes ago and paired it with origami and Catholic papers. It's perfect because it gives extra clarity to the cup. My water is at 87 degrees, composed of 85 ppm, with a mix of 70% calcium for sweetness and 30% magnesium for high vibrancy, which combined at a water temperature gives me the best balance between its fruity and floral notes. Now, my brewing technique. I'm gonna pour 2 times with a 100-gram pour each time. In between, I allow my coffee to bloom for 1.2 minutes. This very long bloom results in a higher extraction, around 1.4 TDS. And because of my grinding and freezing techniques, no need to catch all the fines with multiple pours and agitation. I'm aiming for a total brew time of 2 minutes 10. I think the best way to describe my coffee is by colors and not only notes, because of its complexity and elegance. So you should think orange and yellow with a hint of white. So now, judges, I will please ask you to write down the notes of my coffee. The aroma is medium high. You will have notes of peach, mango, dulce de leche, and rose, making me think of a Turkish delight. The flavors have a high intensity at all stages. You will have, when hot, peach, mango, and strawberry. When warm, gold kiwi, nectarine, and apricots. And when cold, mangosteen, passion fruits, and white tea. The aftertaste is long-lasting and lingering with a juicy finish, making me think of a oolong peach tea. The acidity from hot to warm is medium and malic, just like a peach candy. It gets more intense when cooling, turning into lactic and citric, reminding me of a passion fruit yogurt. The sweetness is my favorite part. It is medium-high from hot to cold, and well balanced by the acidity, reminding me of candied peach and a tropical fruit nectar. The mouthfeel is juicy when hot and turns tea-like when cooling, just like an ice white tea. And finally, the balance, all the way from hot to cold, remains in harmony between the acidity, the sweetness, and the brightness of the fruits. So now, judges, I will please ask you to evaluate the aroma directly from the glass. As you can see, this cup is quite big and tapered, so you can really swirl the coffee to release the aromatic compounds trapped near the surface. Please. Please. And please. I'll be right back. We all good? Perfect? Ready? So now, judges, just some little instructions, and just after my speech, you'll be able to taste it right away. Please enjoy this coffee when hot with your cupping spoons, and when warm and cold, drink directly from the glass, because these were made to enhance the aromas and your pleasure when drinking. This pink cup will also make you think of the candy-like of my coffee. As I mentioned before, I own a coffee shop, and serving brews like these, with these rare and one-of-a-kind beans, mixed with these hybrid techniques, and always pushing the limits of brewing is my everyday goal, to please my customers and give them the best experience possible. Competition taught me how to improve a coffee, and today I'm presenting you my favorite one. From a chef to a barista, please enjoy, and time.
All right, that's competitor number 11, representing France.